At the centre of Scotland's largest city lies its beating heart. Glasgow Central is the transport hub that connects communities near and far. But for months, lockdown has left the country and the station at a standstill. Now Central staff must take on the challenges of getting the whole nation moving.
This will be interesting.
Any problems we come across, we've got to solve ourselves.
This is what makes this place electric. Brilliant to work in.
They need to open up, welcome back the crowds,
Number 13, guys.
Have your tickets ready, guys?
and cope with everything that a packed station,
Very, very, very busy.
demanding passengers,
Guys, can you just put your mask on? Put your mask on for me, thank you.
and new challenges can throw at them.
We've found a problem with the high voltage cable.
That's going to have to be replaced.
This roller coaster just doesn't stop, does it?
Their mission? To keep the recovery on the rails
I'm staying in Central, so I'm so happy.
A job well done.
and make sure everyone reaches their destination safely. The heat is on in Central Station today, and it looks like it's going to be a scorcher. The school holidays have started, and staff are gearing up for one of their busiest days. Under the glass roof, the temperature's rising, but customer service assistant Derek is keeping his cool.
Really, really hot today. They said it was going to be hotter than real.
At 25 degrees, it's the hottest day of the year so far, and Derek is delighted.
Hot days like this, everybody just heads down to the beach. I love it. It's good to see the people back again, you know. Kids are happy they're going to the beach. Let's get them down, have some fun. Brilliant.
During the summer months, over 60,000 people travel through Central every day, but today is going to be even busier. It's the end of term, and thousands of school leavers will descend on Central en route to the Ayrshire coast. This annual beach trip means around 4,000 more people concentrated on the concourse. Scotrail duty manager Derek is in charge of the queue.
There's an event every year when the school's finished, so the weather comes out, they all head down to Troon and Ayr and Barassie, down the beaches, and they take over. I mean, they have a great time, but it's very, very busy for the station. Puts a lot of pressure on the trains. Go ahead, Jackie. Very, very, very busy. I must get a very.
The crowd is getting bigger by the minute, and to make matters worse for Derek,
Roger, give me a wee shout once it's there. Right.
an incoming train is delayed.
Air train, they're all going the same train. 2 minutes, guys, you're in platform 15 next, okay?
With one less train, everyone heading to Ayrshire will now have an even longer wait.
Where are you going? Arvin, you join the queue for that front of the air trains. That's how busy they are.
The Sunseekers keep coming, arriving at Central in their droves, and the team have to work together to get through this intense period safely.
It's good communication because they're actually being controlled of how many we're getting on the train, so we're not absolutely jam-packing the train.
Smaller groups are being sent up towards the barriers in stages, where Derek is arranging platform access.
Have your tickets ready, guys? All your tickets there? Put them inside the gates down the bottom, and that's really good because then we can separate from the other trains where everybody's going, see how many's going on the train, and just control it that way so it's not overloading.
Number 13 or 20, right? Number 13. 20 only. Number 13, guys.
Despite the efforts of the two Dereks to keep the lines moving towards the platforms, bag inspections at the barriers are slowing things down. An alcohol ban is in place on Scotrail services, and the British Transport Police are on duty to ensure it is enforced.
You've got to have eyes everywhere.
Constable Coots and her colleagues are well versed in identifying likely smugglers.
We usually see like a group will come and then they'll see us and then they'll stand. Then they'll talk amongst themselves and then they'll try and hide whatever they've got. Don't know if you've been over to the bin. The bin's like a quarter full already with alcohol. They just see us, we're the big baddies that spoil the party because we're taking alcohol from them. And they're away down in Troon, They've still got to come back again, so get there safely, get home safely.
Summer holidays have started now, and this is what it's going to be like, mostly every day. So, roll on summer.
Basically, everything's going through your head. You're watching people, you're just watching their behaviour, making sure they're all acting accordingly and that they're all enjoying themselves. But no, you just keep vigilant, make sure nobody's causing any issues, and if you keep doing that, we'll have a good day.
How busy it is already, and it's only 7 minutes.
On the concourse, Derek's group of sun-seeking day trippers is still growing. But there's good news. The delayed train has arrived, so another group can get on their way to the beach.
Legs 11, number 11.
Stand back from the edge. Hope you've got lots of sunscreen and water and things like that. Still laughing.
Managing nearly 4,000 people may have tested them, but the team know that after a day in the sun, the revellers will return this evening with some different challenges. Not all young people in Central Station are relaxing today. The Scotrail apprentice training scheme has become a popular and successful route for younger people wanting to get into the railway industry. Kia and Daniel are in the final days of their training. They are both hoping to secure a full-time job, so it's now more crucial than ever that they impress. For Daniel, a job on the railway is an obvious choice.
Well, I suppose I've always had a soft spot for the railway. Neither of my parents drove, so anywhere I went as a child, it was always by train. And so I suppose I've kind of... A lot of the happiest memories I've got as a child, I've started with a train journey somewhere. I suppose it's something I've always wanted to do, so I thought, why not?
My mum seen the apprenticeship online and got me to apply for it. I didn't really know much about the railway when I joined, but just thought it would be something, give me to start a career in the railway.
Kia has first-hand knowledge of the job. Her uncle works here too.
Well, he's a driver, so it's a bit different, obviously, compared to me, because I'm wanting to do like customer-facing roles and things like that. But obviously, when I was joining the railway, I spoke to him a lot about it, and that's what obviously helped me make the decision to want to do this job.
That's you, stick your ticket in.
The scheme has been running since 2009.
That's a Roger.
All together, right?
While they're here, they get to try many different jobs in the station.
It's an 18-month programme. It gives us the opportunity to see different areas of the business. Got a ticket. Just show your tickets as you come through. That's fine, on you go.
Since it started, 130 young people have completed their training and gone on to have successful careers on the railway.
I think that's a good thing about the railway as well. There's so many different places and different aspects to go and build your career and different jobs to try to see what your favourite thing to do is.
Central's more experienced team members are happy to help with their on-the-job training.
Everybody's been nice. I think when you're an apprentice as well, because you're younger and you're just coming into the railway, and people are much more there for you to mentor you and help you out and things like that. So we've had a lot of support.
But despite the support from colleagues, there are still plenty of challenges to deal with. The ticket barriers often produce the trickiest situations.
Last night, a few people were out-of-date tickets and stuff because people end up having so many tickets in their bag, pulling out the wrong one, putting the wrong one through, then getting annoyed at me because they've put the wrong one through when they're wanting their train. But just need to try and help them find the right one. Try one that says cards and ticket. Okay, just try and hold it on one more time. That's why the new e-tickets are quite good that they've brought out, if you've seen people using them, the QR codes. So they've now got like a QR code on their phone, and they just scan it here, and then the barrier opens and they can just go through. So it's quite good. Just hope it doesn't put us out of job.
You need to buy another ticket in, pub. I can't let you out of that. You need to buy a ticket. Whenever you came for, you need to get a ticket to get out. So that's not a valid ticket you've got.
The apprentices are getting used to dealing with customer complaints.
My main worry was if we had to go off the air.
This is the real sharp end of customer relations for the apprentices.
He's come from a station without purchasing a ticket, so he needs to buy a ticket, and he didn't like that.
But with some support from his colleague, the issue is dealt with. Daniel has handled the situation well and understands the heat's making everyone a little more on edge.
It's a long day today, the heat gets to folk, and it's part of the course. Sometimes folk aren't shouting at you, they're shouting at the uniform.
Daniel and Kia have now finished the 18-month apprenticeship, and it won't be long till they find out about their full-time jobs.
On Friday, we anticipate finding out where their permanent posting will be with Scotrail. So we've got to the end of the 18-month apprenticeship, that's a fixed-term contract, so we're going to find out where our permanent posting is.
Last night I was just really nervous. I was struggling to get to sleep and stuff because I'm so scared about obviously what my next job's going to be. I'm scared if I'm going to be leaving the station or not, and just don't know what to think. I feel quite sick right now, actually.
They'll both find out what's in store in a few days' time. The construction of Central Station began in 1874, and throughout its life, it has seen countless expansions, renovations and changes. In many ways, it has changed beyond all recognition. One now hidden gem that links back to those first years can still be found if you know where to look. Norrie Wilson has been coming and going through Central since he was a boy and is fascinated with its history. He has fond memories of this particular part of the station.
Well, we're here outside the famous carriage driveway entrances Central Station. It takes you back to Victorian times when they would come in here and the taxi rank would be the horses and carts going up the stairs to deposit the passengers.
The well-heeled passengers, and presumably that's why it's so high, because you'd have the hansom cab drivers sitting up at the back of the... So you'd need the head clearance.
Yep. Shall we head through and have
Shall
a
we
wee
say
look?
open sesame?
That's it.
Carriageway Drive closed in 2006, and Norrie hasn't been in this part of the station since he was a boy.
No change really throughout the years down here, the tiles.
It's strange because I remember it as being much longer and much darker, but I think that's just my childhood memory playing tricks. It's obviously been retiled since I was last in it, because I remember it's been much darker and much scarier, but mind you, I was only about 5 or 6 at the time.
Well, it's quite funny you should say that about the tiles, Norrie, because they are the ones that you would have seen, but they're clean.
They've been cleaned.
Aye, they're cleaned, so that's the difference.
And these lovely arched windows to the right that I see when I come in the bus. And you never imagine what's going on behind them.
They were filthy.
Oh yeah,
many,
they must
many
have
years. Do you know, even now, having spent that many years working in Central, in my mind's eye, I can still imagine the horses and carts and the horse-drawn cabs going up the carriage driveway.
The steam and the smoke and the smog and the noise.
Right.
This must have been where we came through when I was a wee boy, but I don't remember this wonderful crest.
You don't remember this, Norrie? This is the Caledonian Railway Company's crest. You might recognise this in somewhere else. It's Scotland's national crest. Shall we head up in this direction?
Wander on,
see
what we're missing.
Just about 12 years ago now, we took away the car park in Central and we replaced it with an additional 2 platforms to increase capacity for the services coming and going from Central.
That's what confuses me, because I could never remember where it was we parked, because I couldn't see the space for parking, but it's where the new platforms are.
Well, if we take a walk up in this direction, you'll be able to clearly see.
Before the main concourse was fully pedestrianised, a road ran inside the station, starting at the top of Carriageway Drive, circling down towards the exit.
I remember when I used to come up here to get my train home to Crookston, these platforms, which are now platforms, was one solid big platform with a herringbone pattern of great big cars, and they usually were expensive cars. parked right the way up, but it must have been fairly wealthy businessmen that were parking here every day to go off to their work.
For free.
For free, so you didn't even have to pay. That's remarkable.
Today, the entire station is pedestrianised, but back then, visitors had to be very careful.
I remember as a wee boy, my mum saying, oh, hand, because there was traffic driving right through the centre of the station.
Imagine the traffic coming up round here, straight onto the concourse, round to the left-hand side, and out the Hope Street exit.
And what I'd forgotten is that they were doing that barrel round and going straight out. Was that straight out onto Gordon Street?
That was straight out onto Hope Street. Unfortunately, some dunderhead years ago took away that magnificent building, which was a taxi office. Prior to that, it was for the drivers to come in and log in the mornings. Well, what about this photograph? As you can see, nothing has changed there. That was the original booking office, as it is to this day. They built the shops here in this section, and they made the architecture quite sympathetic as to the original structures.
You might be able to tell me what we're looking at here, because that's the station in the age of steam, with a whole row of hansom cabs.
This is prior to the extension being built, and we know this because see the right-hand side here? You see all the adverts at the time.
Yeah.
You know, the soap companies, there's adverts for whiskey and things. Also, as you say, you see the hansom cabs sitting here, and you also see people pushing various carts. Hand carts about as well.
Here's the car park behind us.
And that photograph is that platform across to my left there.
There we are. And I think I'm right in remembering, I think this was actually the Scottish National Orchestra.
Right.
Or someone setting off on a European tour, because they've got all their instruments and everything in their bags.
Amazing.
All boarding in Glasgow to go off to tour Europe.
In its 140 years, Central Station has responded to the demands of the city and its people. And as we dig beneath the surface of Central today, we can track back to every era of its history.
It's been an absolute eye-opener, Paul, because even though I'm a regular through the station, the changes are so piecemeal over the years that you don't really notice them. And it's only when you look at these old photographs, you think, my God, I remember that. Where's it gone?
Carriageway Drive reflects just one of the many changes Central has seen over the years, and that work never stops. Renovation on another hidden gem is underway. The Victorian platform is a popular stop-off for visitors on the Central Station tours. First opened in 1896, the platform provides a unique glimpse of Central's past. But evidence of a water leak has put its future in doubt, so an urgent site inspection is needed. Tour guide Jackie has arranged a survey for tomorrow, but now she's discovered another problem.
So there's been a bit of an issue with lighting down at the Victorian platform. I've had to put in a call for maintenance to get themselves down there. There's some important stuff happening this week, so I can't have that, delayed. I know I'm always pushing. I'm a nag. I know I'm a nag. But we need this done, really quick.
This disused platform lies deep below Argyle Street and was once the stop for commuters travelling from Glasgow suburbs. The team negotiate the dark labyrinth of tunnels and dead ends. But not everybody is happy with this step back in time.
Gives you the heebie-jeebies down here. And there's no freaky folk about to jump out on you. I'll be the first one out the door.
This doesn't bother me. It's actually quite interesting to see this. It'll be good for the tours as well, for Jackie to bring folk down, because it gives them an idea, obviously, of what was.
Quite excited because this is going to be my next project, and I just love this part of the station. Can you just imagine what it must have been like back in Victorian times, with steam trains coming in, the smoke, the steam belching out for the engine? You wouldn't be able to see in front of you. And trains were running down here right up until 1964, until this place closed. And then part of it reopened in 1979. But this side of the lower level was left untouched until the tours came down here. And it's been great for the tours because everybody loves this.
But nobody will be loving it if station electrician Scott and the team don't get the lights working.
It's a bit tough sometimes, but obviously you need to kind of think outside the box sometimes. The hardest bit is trying to find where it's actually supplied from because it's such a big place.
Scott has established what's caused the problem, but the fix won't be easy.
Whenever we were trying to flick the switch on, basically all the water has ruined the cables and they were all touching inside that conduit. So basically that was what was causing the fault. So now it has to be rewired, but that side down that way there is too tricky to rewire because of all the bends and there's a lift shaft there. Everything down that side is safe and we can now, that allows us to take it from there and then hopefully those 3 lights should be on.
The platform is almost 16 metres below street level and over the years has become saturated without modern waterproofing. The old electric cables and lights have corroded and now must all be replaced.
It's old and rusty, see, because of the water penetration coming down the wall. Whenever it's heavy rainfall above us, it's welding it all together.
Scott has been the station electrician for 18 months and is still amazed at the variety of jobs he finds himself doing.
Basically, you don't really know. Every job's different in here. It might be a light switch, but in this instance, when we thought it was a light switch, it turns out that the problem is far bigger. So every job's completely different in the station, which is an aspect that I actually quite like about it, because it keeps you on your toes with different challenges and stuff like that all the time.
The damaged wiring and light fittings have all been replaced. It's time for the moment of truth.
When Scott goes to wire the feed we've put in, I'll trip this, sure that's everything dead along there, sure he's no wiring it up live to make it safe at the moment. As soon as he's wired that, hopefully, if we've done it right, we put that in, all lights up next door, we can see what we're doing. Right, yeah. She's a bit hard, won't we? Oh, look at that, man. Yippee! It's all done.
The job is done and the lights are on, and just in time for the surveyors arriving tomorrow. While it's damp down below the station concourse, up above, under the glass roof, it's almost 30 degrees, so Jackie has a plan.
It's like a greenhouse in here, so if you're waiting for any length of time, we end up just melting. Hottest day of the year so far, so we thought we would cool everybody down with a wee ice pole.
Ice bucket in hand, Jackie goes off to cool the customers.
Ladies, would you like a wee ice pole just to cool you down while you're sitting here? Ice pole?
Thank you.
Cool you down, wee ice pole? Want a wee ice pole to cool you down? Ladies, a wee ice pole? There you go.
Thank you.
Just to cool you down. You're looking a wee bit frazzled, young lady. Enjoy. The heat in here is just making everybody happy to take something that's going to cool them down. I've got a few left. Maybe take them to the staff because they're down here all day. They're working 12-hour shifts in this incredible heat and can't give them to everybody else and no give them to the staff. So I'll head up there and give them now.
People come from all over the world to see Scotland in its summer splendour.
It's just beautiful. I really like this last travel. I was just talking to someone in the train. I was telling I never seen Scotland as beautiful as this.
Unfortunately, many don't realise quite how much they need to cover up in the fight against the swarms of wee flying beasties.
I was going downhill and the chain came off while climbing up right in the middle of the cloud of the beaches. So I got beaten everywhere. I think I have over 100 just on the legs.
Central is just one of 359 stations in Scotland, and of those, 213 are unstaffed stops. So, to ensure the safety of all passengers, CCTV cameras are monitored 24/7. There are 267 cameras in Central Station alone, and a further 6,500 cameras strategically placed at stations across Scotland.
Our customer service centre in Paisley has an overview of all the stations 24/7. Their CCTV cameras monitor everything that happens in every location. They're our eyes and ears.
John is one of the station team managers whose responsibilities include regular checks of unstaffed station facilities.
We do a weekly check to make sure the cameras and the help points in particular at stations as well as everything else is working.
These calls are recorded and your image is being captured on CCTV.
We have help points in each platform down here, which the customer can press and speak to an advisor straight away.
Scotrail, can I help?
Hello, it's John Mulligan, how are you? As soon as you press that button, the pan, tilt and zoom camera swings towards them. So if they're not in clear view of a camera, that camera will go right on them. So the advisor can see who they're speaking to, and that's recorded as well. If you come into a place like this again late at night, it's good to know as a point of contact. It obviously reduces crime numbers as well, because people are aware the CCTV's on them. But it's protecting staff in staff stations, it's protecting customers in unstaffed stations as well, so it's a great thing. When I'm doing my station checks, we press on the help point, number one, to make sure that's working. But also it means we can contact them about any issues we see. We also get them to do maybe a test announcement within the station. That just to make sure that the PA system's working and they can contact anybody on the station as well. It's a huge thing for us. It's a great tool. I mean, you know, I can't imagine what it'd be like now without CCTV cameras.
As John heads off to check another station, at the other end of the cameras in Paisley, the CCTV team is preparing for an unpredictable Friday late shift.
At the minute, it's kind of commuter time. It's late Friday afternoon, so this will be people travelling home from work, people coming in for their nights out, going out for restaurants, going out for dinner.
Karina is the duty manager tonight. She has gained a wealth of experience from her years working on the railways, including time working with Central Station. She and her eagle-eyed CCTV team of 6 will be studying the screens carefully tonight, managing any emergencies and keeping travellers safe for the next 10 hours.
Everybody in here is there really, really calm under pressure, because you could be dealing with a live incident on that monitor and your help point's going and it's your dedicated help point.
The help points are often the first indication of an unfolding problem. At busy times, the staff have to field as many as 900 inquiries a day. But the team also rely on their own experience and instinct to judge each situation as it develops.
We can usually feel it. You start to feel it ramp up, or you start to see things on CCTV. We're making sure that if there's groups gathering in the station, that they're standing behind the yellow line.
The train due through. It's not going to stop, it's going to go right through. It's crazy what they do. Scotrail, can I help?
We get phone calls from ticket examiners, conductors, to perhaps say they've had an issue on their train. All that safety aspect and making sure that the stations are clear of any objects, but also making sure that whilst people are in the station, they are safe. Not looking like it is he? It can be a challenge. It can be very, very busy. And there's always something going on. All of a sudden, you get something at the corner of your eye and you see somebody crossing the track. That can be somebody going down to retrieve a football and they think it's safe to go down. You know, it can sometimes be a really innocent act.
You need to come down off the electricity boxes for your own safety and that of others.
When a situation arises, the live tannoy announcer will speak directly to the individual at the station.
You are reminded that your images are recorded at all times in the station area with a direct link to the British Transport Police.
If further urgent action is required, a message is relayed within the railway teams.
We contact the signaller and they will contact the trains that are coming through and make sure those trains don't come through at line speed.
The centre is manned 7 days a week. The Friday late shift is usually a busy one, but the Scottish weather can have an impact on how the night plays out.
In CCTV, we say the rain is our friend in terms of antisocial behaviour. That tends to ramp it down a bit, but it does look like it's beginning to start to be a nicer evening, so it could swing either way.
He looks to have came to a stand just at the end of the platform.
A helpline call from Port Glasgow alerts the team to a delayed train.
I hadn't come in, the mark was showing it was sitting at Bishopton. That's why I went into the cameras at Bishopton to confirm that the train was sitting there. It's 36 minutes it's been sitting at Bishopton. He looks like a driver. He's out talking to, well, it's a passenger he's talking to, I'm not sure.
Controls engaged.
Train come in on time, 21:29, passengers will come off.
So I don't know if it's a train fault or something happening on the train.
I think somebody's fell over or collapsed at the door.
Right, OK.
With no information available, the team have to play a waiting game. On other screens, there are signs of worrying developments.
You've got high levels of antisocial behaviour on a night and you're dealing from one station to the next, and you've got antisocial behaviour travelling down the line. All we really want is people to be safe. It can be exasperating at times because you see the dangers.
In Bishopton, the train remains at a standstill.
It's 57 minutes now it's been sitting there.
With no news from staff on the train, Karina calls the Operations Control Centre to find out what they know.
OK, driver's on the platform. We can see the driver on the platform and the train at a stand, but can't see what's happening.
While the team follow the situation at Bishopton, the screens reveal another problem, one they are familiar with.
We've let the signaller know because he was veering quite close to the platform edge at one point. But we've got eyes on him, so we'll let you know if he boards the next service or if he leaves the station, because he's been in and out a couple of times.
As the trains are warned to slow down and emergency services are put on standby, the team monitor the traveller in Paisley as he moves dangerously closer to the platform edge.
You do feel the worst as they get closer and closer to the platform. Your heart is in your mouth a little bit. He's been walking up and down the platform. I don't think he's quite clear maybe where he's trying to get to, or he's going to board the next service, but we've got probably another 10 minutes until that next service.
All eyes are glued to the screen as the passenger attempts to board the train.
Oh, stop, 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 stop. Yeah, it is.
As he waits his turn in the queue, the staff at CCTV breathe a sigh of relief. Another potentially dangerous situation is averted.
Bye, bye.
And in Bishopton, they've got to the bottom of the stopped train.
Right, it's waiting an ambulance, Alistair. There's a passenger had a fit. So ambulance is on its way.
He's walking, yes, that's a good sign.
All right, thanks, bye.
With the patient on their way to hospital, the shift draws to a close.
People have gone home safely, and we'll now just get the last few customers home, make sure everybody's safe, and that will be another shift finished for us.
Central Station is looking forward to the opening of its new museum, where a huge display of railway memorabilia will be on show to the public. Jackie is the proud curator, and she's always on the lookout for any new additions for the collection.
So this is the inside of the sleeper car that was decommissioned in 2019. These scales came from Queen Street when they were doing the renovation. They found them down the stairs.
Getting an exclusive look are Willie and Kevin, who are both old hands on the railway. They've found items for Jackie in the past, so while they are at Central today, she can't wait to show off the newest additions in the collection and to ask for more.
If you happen to be out and about and you see things that you think might fit quite nicely in this museum, phone me. I will arrange pickup. Nobody in Central throws anything old out until they've run it past me.
Today, it looks like Jackie's in luck.
One of the two-wheel ones with the heavy wheels on it as well.
Right, and is it in better condition than that one?
Aye, yeah.
There's another original platform trolley up for grabs.
This is fantastic!
But that's not why Willie and Kevin came to Central today. They're here to check out an old platform clock, which has been offered by Central to Saltcote Station in Ayrshire. They have to decide whether it will fit, so they're keen to take a look at a similar clock already hanging in the museum.
You can see clamps up onto the girders.
Yeah.
And then the things go down, the kind of screw things go down.
And at Saltcote Station, might be a problem because they don't have these girders.
Right.
There is a bridge, but I don't think they would put it below the bridge, so they'd maybe bring a clamp out from the wall and hang it.
Yep.
That way.
But you can take pictures of what we've got to let you see how it kind of fits.
Is it going inside the building or out the platform?
I would imagine, given that there's electrics, I would imagine it's going to have to be inside or undercover at the very least, would be my tuppence worth. So that's the clock. Do you want to take some photos? Are you okay? I've got a wee set steps there if you want.
No, it's just the clamps we need to see.
Right.
The pictures are being sent to the team in Saltcote, but they need to check if the clock will work.
And it'll be nice in Saltcote, but it'll not be as nice as ours.
Before the internet, all railway platform clocks in Britain were kept accurate by an electrical pulse system. A signal was generated in London and distributed across the country through the lines that run alongside the tracks. That pulse ensured every clock was in sync.
So this is the pulse box.
Jackie's clock appears to be in good condition, but it won't work properly if its pulse box is faulty.
It's a really sensible thing, though, isn't it? Just having a control that you change one and it makes them all change. So.
After a quick inspection, it looks like everything's working.
Brilliant, that's good news. I'm a wee bit more confident that you'll get them working now.
Magic.
Brilliant.
Jackie has 2 clocks in the store next door, and they're waiting to hear if one of them is going to Saltcote.
Here are said clocks.
And there's good news. The pictures they took earlier have been checked by an engineer at Saltcote.
Just going to give you a wee hand. All right. If we get it onto this wee trolley.
There we go.
I'm really pleased to see them going to a good home.
Come on.
We don't have any use for any more of the clocks. It's good that it's going to be enjoyed by loads of other people. I bet this is one of the weirder jobs you've had to do, collect a clock.
Job's a good one.
The clock is on its way to its new home, and Jackie is in a reflective mood.
The clocks are just lying there, nobody's using them, nobody's seeing them. And so the fact that it's away to Saltcote, and hopefully it's going to be installed and it'll be working. Aye, quite satisfied with that one. I'm glad. Be good to do. And I need to go to Saltcote now for a wee trip, just to see how it looks once it's installed.
The platforms of Central may have changed over the years, but its role remains constant, starting and ending people's journeys. For some, it's just a way of getting from one place to another, but for others, it became a matter of life or death. The Kindertransport scheme became a lifeline for thousands of Jewish children fleeing to Britain during the Second World War. Many arrived here on the platforms of Central Station. Marian Kamras was 14 when she travelled from Poland to Glasgow. She's back at Central today to meet Claire Singerman of the Gathering the Voices project to tell her more about her remarkable journey to freedom.
Rabbi Schenfeld had permission from the British government for 1,000 Jewish orphans. He had 3 transports of children of about 120 each. And I came in November 46.
200 boys and girls wave a greeting to England, land of the free. They are between the ages of 5 and 17, the advance guard of the first 5,000 Jewish and non-Aryan child refugees from Germany. What a blessing to be young.
Marion's journey to safety was long and dangerous.
It was very difficult, actually, because the mode of transport was horse and cart, and there were lots of refugees on the roads, and it was crowded. And the Germans would come in a small plane, just one pilot, and come really low down and just shoot at us. So we would jump off the cart that we were in, and on both sides of the road there were forests. So we would hide in the forest while he was busy killing whoever he could get.
Marion made the difficult journey to safety on her own from Poland to Sweden and then by boat to London, where she eventually met her aunt.
My aunt had come from Glasgow to pick me up, and I had not seen my aunt since I was 6, and I would not have known her at all. But she recognized me because I had a mass of red hair. One thing of coming to Glasgow was wonderful because there were quite a few people with red hair. But in Poland and in Russia, when you had red hair, oh, it was not a good thing at all. No, you stood out like a sore thumb.
In all, nearly 10,000 refugees were welcomed to Britain from all over Europe.
When you got here, was it strange? I remember the station used to be very smoky. Did you notice that when you arrived?
Well, it was certainly very dark in every way. Very, very crowded.
Marion, you mentioned that you didn't ever expect to spend so many years of your life here in Glasgow. Looking back now, how do you feel about it and about Scotland?
Well, I was very, very fortunate in meeting my husband, who was a wonderful man. I think he liked red hair, that's what it must have been. And he worked very hard as a GP. And of course, I was on duty answering the telephone and bringing up the children. Scotland was very good to me.
Do you feel Scottish now after all these years?
Well,
Scottish with an accent, maybe?
Certainly, Scotland is my home. That's where my children were born. And Scotland, as I say, is a wonderful country. I made a lot of good friends here.
Marion was one of the last children to escape from war-torn Europe. Henry Wooga made the same Kindertransport journey 6 years earlier. As soon as his train left Nazi Germany, he noticed an instant change.
On the Kindertransport train, when we crossed the Dutch frontier, even the babies, even the kids of 7, felt relieved the Nazis went out of the train, and the kind Dutch women came with hot chocolate and apples and sandwiches. Just shows you how the impression, even in a trauma, how things stick in your mind. I think it's interesting. I was with 2 other refugee children coming to Glasgow. I had traveled a lot before in Germany on wooden seats, but this time we were in the Royal Scot, upholstered compartments.
Fantastic.
We were taken to the dining room, to the dining car. I'd never been in a dining car before. 1938, waiters wearing white cotton gloves, serving us with hot chocolate or whatever we wanted. It was like paradise. It was unbelievable. Quite an experience.
What do you remember of your impressions when you arrived in Central Station? Was it very noisy? Was there lots of people?
It was quite something. So Central Station, it was not like that. It was black in these days. Yes, very black.
I remember it as being really gloomy. It was a really gloomy station.
As conflict in Europe raged on, Henry wanted to find a way to help the country that had saved his life.
I wanted to do more for the war effort. Either go to Hillington and make munitions, or join the Pioneer Corps, or join the Merchant Navy.
Henry remained in Glasgow and landed a job in the Corn Exchange restaurant near Central Station, having trained in a kitchen before the war. When this kitchen experience was mentioned at a local labour exchange, Henry's future in Glasgow was set.
I will never forget this young man behind me. I don't think he was 2 years older than I was, and he called me Specky. And he said, Specky, you're going nowhere. We also need people to cook for the public. Now there you are, a young man who looked at me across the counter and decided he's going to stay in the Corn Exchange. He's not going to any Hillington or to any Merchant Navy. Just fate, just shows you. It's unusual, but I mean, this is actually what took place.
Henry returned to the restaurant full-time. His war effort would be feeding the people of Glasgow.
Across the road from Central Station, the Grosvenor restaurant and the Corn Exchange restaurant, I worked there for 5 or 6 years. So here we go. I mean, absolutely, Central Station was in my view every day of the week, working in that restaurant.
Henry made his entire life here. He married, started a family, and built himself a very successful career, working in some of Glasgow's finest restaurants, finally becoming head chef at the world-famous Regano's.
Henry, this is one of my favourite photographs because I have never been to the Regano, but I have heard always that it was one of the restaurants.
Very good restaurant, very good fish restaurant.
Is that what it's famous for?
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe one day...
Maybe, who knows?
Who knows?
Like so many Kindertransport children, Henry and Marion fled the Nazi regime for the safety of Scotland. Each story is a fascinating insight, and the Gathering the Voices archive will be a unique record of that time.
These are two people who have gone through world wars, and they're still here. They have experienced so much, and yet here they are. They're both in their 90s. Amazing. They are just such inspiring people. So inspiring.
For years, refugees and immigrants have helped shape Glasgow into the multicultural city it is today, and Central Station has always been at the heart of those comings and goings, playing an important role in welcoming travellers on their journey. Back on the concourse, and heads are turning. One hard-to-miss traveller has arrived and is suitably dressed for the hot weather. Speedo Mick is doing a 2,000-mile charity walk.
Started on Stornoway on the 31st of May, and I finished this walk in November.
Mick is raising money for his foundation, supporting those with mental health problems.
We're giving £250,000 out to charity along the way from via the Speedo Mick Foundation for mental health, homelessness and disadvantaged young people. I'm a sitting duck to get stick, but you just join in and they've been donating.
I'm going to sponsor you. You're a good man.
Thank you.
How you doing, man?
Nice to meet you, man. It's been absolutely fantastic, man. Everybody laughs and smiles and has a little giggle.
Bless you.
Oh, thank you.
Good luck, mate.
Thank
We'll be
you.
putting some money in.
Oh, thank you.
And after a short stopover in Glasgow, he'll continue his nationwide journey, raising money and a much-needed smile wherever he goes. Thousands of travellers come and go through Central every day. But it's hundreds of staff, from customer service to cleaners, ticket sales to maintenance, spend every day here working together as a team. And hoping to join that team are Kaya and Daniel, two of the customer service apprentices. Today is a big day. They have been called to a meeting with the assessment team.
I'm just scared. I'm scared to go over and scared what they're going to tell me. A good result, preferably, would be to stay in Central because I've got to know everybody. But I don't mean that I would be unhappy with the other result of Queen Street. It's just out of my comfort zone because I'm not used to it, but I'll be grateful and happy for whatever job they give me.
The apprentices this year, they all have separate qualities. I would say that they've all stood out and they do continue to stand out.
They come in and got on with it. They just matured so much and they were fantastic. It opened my eyes up, you know, just seeing how they adapted and grew.
11 minutes past 4.
It was really nice to see their level of customer care, and I think it probably helped that they were in the one location for a long period of time and they were able to build up that relationship with the passengers. So I think for all the apprentices that are here just now, I've got high hopes for all of them. I think they'll all do really well.
Hi. No, don't worry.
After 18 months, it's time to find out if they've done enough to get a full-time job on the railways. The assessment panel the apprentices are meeting today have spoken to each of their managers. That feedback will help them decide what job they will be getting.
So I got what I was hoping for. I'm staying in Central, so I'm so happy. We're doing a gate line roll. They gave us wee chocolates and I've got my contract here. And a wee congratulation card for all our hard work.
Daniel's meeting went well too. He's going to be restationed after some further specialist training. So in the meantime, he'll stay at Central.
Aye, so good news. I shall be staying in the railway. Slightly further along the line. We'll be working at the exhibition centre station now, but I'll still be passing through the station, so it's good news.
I was so happy, that's what I said to them. I said, you just can't wipe the smile off my face.
Daniel and Kia return to work as fully fledged members of the team. Today's great weather signalled the start of the annual day trips to the coastal resorts of Troon and Ayr. Fun-seeking day trippers left Central Station this morning in their thousands.
Very, very, very busy.
It's early evening and the Riviera revellers are nearly home. Their imminent return reminds staff of wild Saturday night mayhem.
It used to be if you worked like here, it's like the catwalk. You would see them all going out, all dressed up and all looking gorgeous, and then you see them coming back with their shoes in hand and their chippy in hand, makeup all over the place, that looking so great. We used to call it the catwalk. You see them all coming up and down, all looking glamorous.
The trains from the beach are just minutes away, and the quiet platforms will soon transform as the floodgates open.
This morning we had about 3,000 to 4,000 people going down, which is a lot of people. Hopefully they're all in good spirits, kept hydrated and all that. But obviously we're just here in case we get any bad apples that decide to spoil a good day.
At the barriers, John is on shift to help manage the returning crowds.
So usually I take too much booze, wee bit of sun, everything goes haywire.
Many of the passengers have spent all day in the sun and some have been drinking, so the staff are hoping for the best but preparing for the worst.
Obviously it's like a greenhouse in here as well, so us wearing this and we're roasting, kids, do you know what I mean? They can be hot very easily, get grumpy very easily, don't like to wait, don't like to queue, don't like anything. It's just when they stop, you're like, keep going guys, the gates are open. That's the young ones, but they're pretty steaming, I can smell alcohol off them.
Some passengers express concerns about their journeys to British Transport police officers. Despite efforts to enforce the alcohol ban, the atmosphere on some busy services has been lively. Officers do their best to address the reports.
I think alcohol plays a big context in it all, but vetting it up so it'll be dealt with swiftly and robustly, which is what you want basically.
Today was always going to be a challenge, but everyone at Central played their part to ensure it went well.
Hi, am I on TV?
Yes!
These first trips to the Ayrshire coast have given the staff a much-needed boost.
Yeah, it's been absolutely great. They've all come back, high spirits, all had a great time. Coming through, telling you all their stories, had a great day. The kids all coming home smiling. I'll make sure they're all safely getting home now. Kept their sunscreen on and all that. So yeah, the usual in Scotland, as soon as you get one sunny day, that's it. We're all head to the beach.
It's been 2 weeks since the apprentices became full members of staff.
You all right? Let me have a wee look.
And Kia's already enjoying the extra responsibility.
You're not just surplus like we were before, like we need to be here now. If I'm not here, then the barrier's not covered, you know what I mean? Whereas before we were just kind of learning off other people and we were there just helping out, so it's a big difference, yeah.
Daniel may not be at the exhibition centre yet, but he is still enjoying the recognition the full-time job has given him.
I'm the real deal now. That's been good. To be honest, it's not really been a massive change. I'm still doing largely the same thing I'm doing. Just the hours are slightly different, and I can where I'm working as well, change a wee bit as well. Can't complain.
The former apprentices only worked off-peak hours at the gates during training, but now they're having to cope with the most the station can throw at them.
So I've been experiencing like people coming home from their work now that everybody's back at work and things like that, so it's just different seeing it dead busy during peak time and commuters and all the tickets that they have, like everybody's get weeklies and stuff, it's just different now. It's a lot busier for me, but it's good to be busy because the shift goes quicker.
And on top of all that, they're having to work longer hours too.
During the apprenticeship, we only did 7-hour shifts, including our breaks, so we were only really standing for the 6 hours. But now we do like 8 hours 45, including our breaks. I'm standing for 8 hours, so like I went home last night, my feet were agony. My legs are like jelly the first shift as well.
As Kia and Daniel start the next stage of their journey on the railway, many others on the concourse are ending theirs, for today at least. It's been a long, hot day and the last travellers are heading home. The staff at Central will be back tomorrow, when they get to do it all again. Next time on Inside Central Station.
Today is a really exciting day. We are looking to break the speed record from London Euston up to Glasgow Central.
We do believe we will be breaking the record today.
It's getting tense. The train is showing right time now, so it's gone back green. That might just be and then it flashes back to yellow. This roller coaster just doesn't stop, does it?